In case. In case.
We'd better stop at the next gas station just in case we run out of gas.
In case you get hungry, there's some leftover pizza in the refrigerator.
Actually, I ate an hour ago. Thanks for offering. In a hurry. In a hurry.
Tom and Linda were in a hurry to get to the cinema. They only had 15 minutes before the movie started.
Would you take a moment to look over these reports?
Can it wait? I'm in a hurry. I have to meet my wife in 5 minutes. In the long run. In the long run.
Michael worked very hard when he was young, but it was worth it in the long run. He was able to retire at an early age.
My father thinks I should get a second degree while I'm in university.
It'll be good for you in the long run. You'll be better qualified for a job. In time. In time.
Laura and her boss didn't get along when they first met, but in time they grew to like each other.
When is this company going to make some money?
In time, my friend, in time. We have to be patient. Inside out. Inside out.
Jack was wearing his sweater inside out. The white tag was showing on the back.
Oh dear, I've spilled juice on my t-shirt.
Turn it inside out. That way nobody will see the stain. In vain. In vain.
The lawyer tried to convince the jury that his client was innocent, but it was all in vain. They found him guilty anyway.
Did he try to ask Mary to stay?
He tried, but in vain. Iron out. Iron out.
After they reached an agreement, the men ironed out the details of the contract. Are you and Jane still having marital difficulties?
Yes, but we've been seeing a therapist and we're confident we can iron out our problems.
It stands to reason. It stands to reason.
There was no forced entry into the apartment. It stands to reason, then, that the victim probably knew the murderer.
Our competitor is losing money fast.
It stands to reason that they'll be out of business by the end of the month. Jack up. Jack up.
Sam jacked up the back of the car before changing the tire.
Harry is stuck under the car. What will we do?
We'll have to jack up the front to free him. Jack up. Jack up.
After the video game became popular, the company jacked up its price to make more profit.
A meal here used to cost around $20. Now it costs $30.
They must have jacked up the prices. Keep an eye on. Keep an eye on.
The youth in the department store looked suspicious. The security guard kept a close eye on him.
Can you keep an eye on the kids? I have to go out for a while.
Sure, I'll babysit them while you're gone. Keep at. Keep at.
Gymnastics was very difficult for Sarah, but if she kept at it, she could one day compete in the Olympics.
I've been painting this house for 5 hours already.
Keep at it. You're almost finished. Keep away from. Keep away from.
Lisa had to keep the dog away from the kitchen, or else it would eat her freshly baked cookies. Hey, keep away from that road. You'll get hit by a car.
Sorry, Mom. We'll play closer to the house.
Keep in mind. Keep in mind.
While shopping for a new suit, John had to keep in mind that he only had $100 to spend.
I'm going to hike to the top of that mountain.
Keep in mind that you're not young anymore. You could have a heart attack. Keep in touch. Keep in touch.
Even though they don't live in the same city anymore, Sarah and Lisa still try to keep in touch.
Do you still keep in touch with your old high school friends?
Sure, we get together once a year for a reunion. Keep on. Keep on.
The others left the office at 5 p.m., but Kevin kept on working until late into the evening.
Should I turn left at this corner?
No, keep on going until the end of the street, then make a left. Keep track of. Keep track of.
Paul kept track of all his phone numbers by writing them down in an address book.
Look at all these documents. How do you keep track of them all?
I store them alphabetically in a filing cabinet. Keep up. Keep up.
Tom couldn't keep up with the other runners. He fell behind after the first lap of the race.
I'm having trouble keeping up, sir. Could you slow down?
Sorry, I'll dictate the letter at a slower pace. Kick out. Kick out.
Brian was kicked out of the restaurant because he slapped the waiter in the face.
Don refuses to pay the membership renewal fee.
Then we'll have to kick him out of the club. Knock out. Knock out.
The sleeping pill really knocked Sarah out. She slept for 12 hours straight.
Why is the man in the red trunks on the ground already?
The other boxer knocked him out with one punch. Lay off. Lay off.
Tom was laid off from work because the company couldn't afford to pay him anymore.
There's a rumor that the boss might be laying off 100 workers.
Oh no, I would hate to lose my job. Lay off. Lay off.
Jane was starting to gain weight, so she laid off the sweets for a while.
Jack keeps teasing Mary about her new haircut.
He'd better lay off. I think she's starting to get angry. Leave out. Leave out.
Bill left out his last name on the letter so he could remain anonymous.
We should all go out for supper tonight.
Okay, but don't leave out Ron. You didn't invite him last time and he was quite hurt. Let down. Let down.
Dad promised to come to my music recital, but he let me down. He didn't come at all.
If you put me on the field, Coach, I promise I'll score a goal.
Okay, but don't let me down. The whole team is counting on you. Let go. Let go.
Please let go of my arm. You're hurting me.
Don't let go of the steering wheel. We'll get into an accident.
Don't worry. I have both hands where they ought to be. Let out. Let out.
Paul let the cat out of the house before he went to bed.
I'm trapped in the elevator. Somebody, let me out.
Don't worry, miss. The emergency services are on the way. Let up. Let up.
The noise from the party finally let up around 2 a.m.
It's been raining for 2 hours. Will it ever let up?
I think the sun is starting to shine through now. Little by little. Little by little.
The men worked to push the truck out of the mud. Little by little, it started to move until it was free.
How did you afford such an expensive car?
We saved little by little over the past 5 years. Live on. Live on.
While Brian was in university, he managed to live on only $400 a month.
It must have been horrible to be deserted on that island for so long.
It was. I had to live on coconuts for 2 years. Look after. Look after.
After Bill had a stroke, he couldn't look after himself anymore. He had to move in with his son.
Will you look after my plants while I'm away?
Sure. How often should I water them? Look at. Look at.
While waiting in the doctor's office, Michael looked at the pictures in a magazine.
Look at these flowers. Aren't they beautiful?
Yes, and they smell lovely, too. Look back. Look back.
When Tom and Sarah looked back on their life together, they realized that they had been very lucky.
Do you remember when we first met?
When I look back on that day, it sends shivers up my spine. Look down on. Look down on.
Paul looked down on anyone who didn't have a lot of money.
I don't think Linda really respects me.
That's okay. She looks down on everyone. Look for. Look for.
After Michael got kicked out of his apartment, he had to look for a new place to live.
What are you looking for?
My keys. I lost them last night. Look forward to. Look forward to.
Richard was looking forward to his vacation. It was still a month away, but he couldn't stop thinking about it.
Let's meet in front of the Eiffel Tower at noon.
Okay, I'm really looking forward to seeing you. Look in on. Look in on.
After she paid the babysitter, Jane looked in on her kids, who were sleeping soundly.
Have you heard that Tom is in the hospital?
No, we should look in on him to make sure he's okay. Look into. Look into.
The detective decided that the case was solved, but his partner wasn't so sure. He wanted to look into it further.
I wonder how much it would cost to fly to Tokyo.
Shall I look into it? There must be some flight information on the internet. Look like. Look like.
Thomas looks like his father. He has the same nose and the same color of eyes.
Has anyone ever told you that you look a lot like Tom Cruise?
All the time. People tell me we have the same smile. Look over. Look over.
I'm not sure if I did my homework correctly. Could you look it over?
Before you mail my letter, could you look it over?
Sure. I'll check for spelling and grammar mistakes. Look up. Look up.
Ron didn't know what the word assiduous meant, so he looked it up in the dictionary.
Do you have Jane's phone number?
I lost it. You'll have to look it up in the phone book. Look up. Look up.
While visiting Sydney, Michael decided to look up his old high school friends. He hadn't seen them for years.
I'm flying to Toronto next week.
Make sure to look up my uncle. He'll give you a free place to stay. Look up to. Look up to.
Lisa looks up to her history teacher because she knows so much information about the world.
I admire your father for how well he takes care of his family.
I really look up to him. I'd like to be just like him someday. Luck out. Luck out.
Just as he was about to run out of gas, Brian lucked out and saw a gas station.
Did the principal punish you for pulling the fire alarm?
Not at all. I kind of lucked out because he was in a good mood. Make believe. Make believe.
For fun, the children made believe that they were doctors in a hospital.
Do you want to play a game?
Sure, let's make believe that we're cowboys in the Wild West.
Make clear. Make clear.
Tom made it very clear to the waiter that he didn't want onions in his salad.
Hey, I thought I made it clear that smoking wasn't allowed in here.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said that joking wasn't allowed. We'll put out our cigarettes. Make friends. Make friends.
On her first day of school, Lisa made friends with a girl named Maria.
Did you make any new friends at summer camp?
I didn't like any of the other kids. I spent most of my time alone.
Make fun of. Make fun of.
All of the children made fun of Laura because she was overweight. It hurt her feelings.
You look silly with those braces. Can I call you Metalhead?
Stop making fun of me. The dentist said I have to wear them. Make good. Make good.
Paul said he would fix Jane's computer. He made good on this promise the very next day.
Harry made good on his promise to build you a shelf.
Yes, but he didn't do a very good job. Make good time. Make good time.
Bob made good time on his drive to New York. It should have taken him 3 hours, but he did it in 2.
You're here already? That was fast.
We made good time on the highway because there wasn't a lot of traffic. Make no difference. Make no difference.
It made no difference to Michael what they had for supper. He was so hungry that he could have eaten anything.
Should I wear the red dress or the green one?
It makes no difference. The fundraiser is for the colorblind. Make sure. Make sure.
Before I left the car, I made sure the emergency brake was on. I was parked on a hill.
Make sure to bring your passport. We'll have to go through customs in London.
Oh, thanks. I almost forgot to pack it. Make the best of. Make the best of.
After the typhoon, the townsfolk made the best of a bad situation. They shared their food and accommodations until the emergency services arrived.
This cottage is so cold and dirty. How can we stay here?
We'll have to make the best of it. Let's clean it up and start a fire. Make up. Make up.
Mary's story can't be true. Do you think she made it up?
How did you manage to keep all those children entertained?
I made up stories about each of them as the main characters, and they were enchanted by it all. Make up. Make up.
After the argument, Kevin made up with his wife and gave her a big kiss.
I will not stay in the same house with that man.
Why don't you two just make up? You know you love each other.
Make up. Make up.
I'm sorry I missed our dinner date. Can I make up for it next week? I'll buy.
I can't be here for the exam tomorrow. What should I do?
You'll have to make it up next week. Make up one's mind. Make up one's mind.
Don couldn't make up his mind if he wanted chicken soup or mushroom soup, so he decided not to have any soup at all.
Put that cabinet by the sofa. No, wait. Maybe it would be better against the wall.
Can you please make up your mind? It's very heavy. Ugh.
Make out. Make out.
Tom tried to read the contract, but he couldn't make out the small print. He had to put his reading glasses on.
Is that Judy walking towards us in the distance?
I can't quite make her out. She's too far away. Mark up. Mark down.
Our company makes a large profit by purchasing our products cheaply and then marking up the prices.
That looks like an expensive jacket.
It is, but they marked down the price, so I got a 50% discount. Move over. Move over.
Mary moved over on the park bench to allow the man to sit next to her.
May I sit next to you?
Sure, just let me move over so there's enough room for both of us. Never mind. Never mind.
Never mind that painting for now. I want you to cut this wood for me first.
I'm sorry, did you say something?
Oh, never mind. I was just thinking out loud. Nod off. Nod off.
Paul nodded off in front of the television before the movie ended. Wake up, Tom. You're going to miss your flight.
Huh? What? I must have nodded off. What time is it?
No matter. No matter.
No matter how hard she tried, Lisa couldn't twist the lid off the pickle jar.
No matter what I do, I can't seem to communicate with that man.
It's not your fault. He doesn't listen to anyone.
Not at all. Not at all. Tom spent the whole day in bed. He didn't do anything at all. Save some of that pizza for me. I only had 2 slices.
You had 2 slices? I didn't have any at all.
Now and then. Now and then.
Michael didn't usually listen to music, but now and then he liked to put on a good jazz CD.
Do you drink coffee?
Not normally, but now and then I'll have a cup if I need to stay awake. Off and on. Off and on.
Business was off and on for Harry. He had months where he sold a lot of insurance, but then he had times when he couldn't sell any at all.
Are you still dating Laura?
Sometimes. We've been off and on over the past few months. Once and for all. Once and for all.
Sheila broke up with Kevin 4 times, but she always went back to him. This time, though, she wanted to end it once and for all.
Bill is so lazy. This time, I'm going to fire him once and for all.
You've been saying that for years. I'll believe it when I see it. Once in a while. Once in a while.
Once in a while, David liked to take a walk in the park, but he seldom found time to do it.
Do you eat out often?
No, but once in a while I like to go for a nice meal in a restaurant. On purpose. On purpose.
Sam didn't hurt the dog on purpose. He kicked him by accident.
I was sleeping. Why did you wake me up?
I didn't do it on purpose. My footsteps must have been too loud. On time. On time.
Michael never made it to work on time. He was always late by at least 10 minutes.
What time does our plane leave?
10 a.m. Make sure you're on time or we'll miss the flight. Out of date. Out of date.
The play was good, but it was a bit out of date. Nobody dresses like that anymore.
How was the party last night?
Not bad, but the music was out of date. I hadn't heard those songs since the 70s. Out of order. Out of order.
Dawn wanted to buy a soda, but the machine was out of order.
Why won't this jukebox work?
It's out of order. Can't you read the sign? Over and over. Over and over.
Charlie played the new song over and over until everyone at the party was sick of hearing it.
Have you seen the new Madonna video?
I love it. I could watch it over and over without ever tiring of it.